Hey, it's Shihan, aka Chili Pepper Cooks, and today we're making a South Asian chicken parmesan sandwich. Now, why is it South Asian? Because this marinara sauce made with South Asian flavors and spices. Not only that, but the chicken itself is seasoned, and the breading that went on the chicken itself is seasoned with South Asian inspired spices. This is a wonderful dinner that you can have, and it's very quick and easy to make. So let's get started. So first you want to take your pan and you want to put it on medium-low heat, and we're going to start with the ghee. Ghee is something you'll find in most South Asian dishes. Sometimes they use it instead of using oil, but South Asians will either use ghee or will use mustard oil or some type of other vegetable oil. Ghee has a very high smoke point, and you can actually use it to saute things that need a lot of heat. However, today we're not going to use a lot of heat, but we want that nuttiness flavor that ghee has. So we're going to add in ghee, about 2 tablespoons of ghee. We're going to add in more later if we need it. Then we're going to put in our shallots. I have about 1 cup of shallots. Now I love to use shallots because it doesn't have too much of a punginess of the onion flavor, but sometimes you can also use onions as well. It's your preference. Then we're gonna go ahead with the aromatics. And the aromatics consist of bay leaves, your dried chili, your cardamom, your cumin seeds, and we also have fresh curry leaves. We're gonna put that in there and we're gonna saute that until the shallots get translucent. Once the shallots are translucent, this is the time where we're gonna put in minced ginger and garlic. Right now I'm putting in just above 2 tablespoons of minced garlic and about 1 tablespoon of minced ginger. Now I'm a garlic guy, so I love a lot of garlic, so you know I'm gonna use a lot of it. You don't have to use this much, but I do think you should. Also, I have a ratio for this dish where for every 2 tablespoons of garlic, there's 1 tablespoon of ginger, so it's more of a 2-to-1 ratio that I have for this. Now we're gonna cook this and we're gonna toast our garlic. Now you know the garlic is well toasted when you get this special cooked toasted garlic aroma, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Once it's toasted, you'll get that special sense of smell right from the dish. Now once the garlic is nice and toasted and you see it starting to stick to the pan, then we're gonna add in our fire roasted crushed tomatoes. Now you can use regular crushed tomatoes, but I like these fire roasted crushed tomatoes because it just adds another layer of flavor to it. Now once the tomato goes in there, we're gonna take our can and we're gonna put in about a half a cup water into that can, and we're just gonna swirl it around so we don't waste any of that crushed tomato that's in that can. Plus we need the water as well, so you want to throw that in there, and you're gonna let this simmer for about 30 minutes. Low simmer. You want to put the cover on there and just walk away. Maybe stir it about every 10 minutes, but just let it simmer and let it do its thing. At this point, you also want to add in salt. I'm adding in about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. We're also going to add in more salt a little later, but this is the baseline for now because again, I don't want it to get too salty, so I start with the baseline. So while that's simmering, we're going to take our chicken. Now this chicken marination that I have is something that I did the night before, and a simple marination. It's just a little bit of oil, and then I have our seasoning mix, which consists of about 1 tablespoon of Kashmiri chili, and then 1 teaspoon of cumin, granulated garlic, granulated onion, and about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're gonna put that right into the chicken and we mix it up, and we leave this overnight. And we let this marinate overnight, or at least 3 hours. Now here's the thing, when you take the chicken out, I take my chicken out and I leave it out in room temperature for at least 1 hour. I don't take it out the fridge and start cooking it right away. And I do that because I let it cool down a little, or should I say heat up a little to the room temperature, because that way it's gonna have a nice even cook. So now we're gonna crack 2 eggs and we're gonna mix it up. Now we're gonna throw that marinated chicken into the egg batter, then we're gonna put it in our breadcrumb. Okay, now for our breadcrumb mix, we're using these unseasoned breadcrumbs. I like to use unseasoned breadcrumbs because I like to season the breadcrumbs myself depending on what type of dish that I have. In stores, you'll see like pre-seasoned Italian flavored breadcrumbs or some other flavored. I like to get the unseasoned one. This way I can control what type of seasoning that I want. And for the seasoning that we're gonna put into the breadcrumbs, it's the same seasoning that we put into the chicken, so it's very easy. We're gonna mix that all up. And of course, we're gonna use a fresh block of Parmesan cheese and we're gonna grate this right into it. You wanna use fresh Parmesan cheese. Please stay away from those Parmesan cheese that's packaged in those plastic bottles in your grocery store. Get the fresh one. We're gonna grate it right in there and then we're gonna mix it all up. And then we're gonna take our chicken after it's been in the egg batter and we're gonna put it into the breadcrumb batter. We're gonna get it nice mixed in there. Then we have our pan. We're gonna shallow fry this. In here I have olive oil and we wanted that medium-low heat, more on the lower end because these breadcrumbs, they have seasonings in it and these other breadcrumbs can also cook quick and also burn quick. So we're gonna put it on medium-low heat and a little bit lower heat setting. And we're gonna put that in there and we're gonna let this cook. We're gonna let it take its time. And we're gonna flip. We're gonna do about 4 flips for this until it's nice and brown. Now, once you get all these cooked, you want to put it on a wire rack and then you can put it in the toaster oven or at the oven and you can put it at about 270 degrees Fahrenheit to keep it warm and it also keeps it kind of crispy as well. Now we're going to assemble our sandwich. So we're gonna take our ciabatta sandwich bread, we're gonna cut it open and we're gonna toast it first. We're gonna do our first toast, putting it in the toaster oven. We're just toasting it until it's just a little hard, has a little crispiness to it. Then we're gonna take it and we're gonna put in our first layer of our sauce. Now when you're putting this sauce in there, make sure that the aromatics are not going in there. You don't want to bite into the aromatics, so just, take your time to put the sauce in there. And we're doing a very thin layer of the sauce, very thin layer. Next, we're gonna put in our chicken. Once we get our chicken in there, then we're gonna take mozzarella cheese, shredded mozzarella cheese. It's even better if you shred it yourself. Again, you get a block of mozzarella cheese and you just shred it yourself. You wanna use low moisture mozzarella cheese for this, because you don't want the extra oils getting all over the place. Low moisture mozzarella cheese, get it nicely stacked on there, put it back into the toaster oven and let it melt. Then you're gonna take it out and that's right, we're gonna put in more of that tomato tangy sauce. Then of course it's South Asian, we're gonna balance it all out with cilantro, a lot of cilantro. And of course, this is optional, but we're not gonna forget about that Thai chili pepper. Now we're also gonna put a layer of that sauce. It's optional. We're gonna put it on top of the sandwich bun as well. And there you go, that's it. It's a very easy, flavorful sandwich, and we just made a twist on the classic chicken Parmesan sandwich. So now let's taste it. That sauce is so flavorful and it has a tanginess to it. And it goes so well with the ciabatta bread. That chicken is just perfectly seasoned. This is so good. This is a great weekday dinner if you want to have a sandwich and nothing too heavy. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next time, I'll see you later.